Hello guys, this video will show how you can master using reference images in 3ds Max, both how to quickly set them up, as well as how to use a certain trick guys to make modeling objects very easy. So in order to use a reference image in Max, we just go ahead and create a plane, and you can center this if you would like. And depending on how you would like to model, you can rotate this, for example. Now we are going to model in a vending machine, the little coin lever. So I'm going to go ahead and rotate this like so, just because I want to model like this, like it's setting up here. Next, you can go ahead and, if you like, decrease the number of edges here by right-clicking on this little triangle, so that brings down to the minimum value. So guys, the way it works here in 3ds Max is that whenever you right-click on something, it will bring it down to the lowest value, which in this case would be 1. So you get this very simple plane right here. Alright, next you press M to go into your material editor, and you can go ahead and either double click on something here to create a material, or right click materials. Let's say use Scanline Legacy. Alright, in order to plug a reference image into this, you can right click in Maps and then General Bitmap. Navigate to the folder and then select your image file. Once you select your image, if you look here in the bottom left, you'll actually show the dimensions of this. Memorize this and then plug these dimensions into your plane size. In this case, it's 1259 by 927. Plug this into diffuse. Now, for the width, it will be, what is it, 1259 and then 927. And here we go. All right, now click on your actual main material. Click on this button to apply it. If it does not show up, guys, you will need to click on the bitmap here and click this button to show it on the viewport. You're now ready to begin modeling. Now, you can either begin to model an object in the front of this and use this as a guide. You can press Alt-X, for example, to make this transparent. Now you can begin to model this to match, like so. Certainly is a fine method. But I want to show you something else fun you can do. If you guys are enjoying this video, be sure to check out the description where I have links to more advanced courses such as on sci-fi design, futuristic vehicles, furniture, and more comprehensive advanced courses. So if I start to modify this, let's say I start to cut out this shape, right? The problem is that if I now start to move this around, it will distort this. But let me show this really cool trick, guys. If you apply your WMap modifier, just use the default planar settings in this case. Check this out. If I now select this and move it, it's being distorted. But if we activate this option right here, show end result on our toggle, which I have set to spacebar, we can now move this, guys, with no distortion. Why? Because it doesn't matter. While it is being distorted, it's being applied. There's a projection happening right on top, which means that projection will overwrite any kind of modeling we do here. So essentially this gives us a very fun modeling option. Now, if you use faces here and then move it around, it's being distorted. Why? Because of 3ds Max's stack selection behavior, it's only going to apply the WMap modifier to the selected faces. But here's how to get around that. You can apply some intermediate modifiers to prevent that behavior. For example, if I apply smooth and add a poly on top, even though if I have a face selected, that behavior will be overwritten. See, it will be limited right here. See that? It's limited. So it's not going up to WMap anymore. Which means now I can move even faces around and it's not going to affect that. What does this mean, guys? Well, it means that now we can begin the modeling process. So we're going to transfer to the second part of the video. We start to model. And the modeling, guys, is very simple. I'm going to go ahead and cut here and try and match up this curve. But remember, guys, it will be subdivided eventually, so I don't have to match it up too much. All I have to do now is just go around here and kind of get this in the right position. Use the cut tool. Alright, I can, for example, delete this now. You can sometimes, guys, turn off show end result because, as you notice, whenever the show end result is on, I can't actually see what's being selected here. So I can sometimes turn it off, and now I can see what's being selected. When you're using the cut tool, it's good to just weld occasionally and do some little modifications here. But we can now, guys, model like so. I can now select this, guys, for example, and then use a regularizer to give me this result. And sometimes I need to kind of modify things a bit here. Or sometimes maybe I need to add additional cuts here. Well, as you guys can see, this gives a very fun, flexible workflow. It's also sometimes good to have the reference image off to the side so that there's no geometry interfering. Just to kind of see what it looks like as well on the side. So like here, for example, I would want to go ahead and make new objects out of this. I would grow, detach, and then as you're modeling here, guys, you can go ahead and replace the materials so that you don't get this weird effect anymore. Right click, hide unused node slots. Deplug that and then just create a color out here. You can even, let's say, be referencing the material, the viewport. Click on this color, eyedropper tool, select from the viewport, boom. Let's also create a blue one. Let's increase the specular level, for example. Make it a little bit more shiny for easier modeling if necessary. At this point, for example, this object will be considered done. You can use either creases or support loops to subdivide it. And that is a done object right there. Same for this, for example. Attach that as our grow. Actually, wait a second here. Oh yeah, I think that's right. All right. Well, let's continue with this. Let's see here. Okay, maybe I actually modified this one. Let me go ahead and delete that. Reapply to poly. All right. Alright guys, that's it for part 1. Next, I'll go ahead and continue modeling. Thank you for watching and take care.